welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker Magazine. I am delighted to be joined virtually all the way from Los Angeles to Amsterdam with the amazing Zara with her fantastic film, A Holiday from Morning. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at a clip.
Sammy, you?
Zara, I'm so thankful you brought your film to the film festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you for featuring it. Yeah.
I can't wait for a New Filmmakers Amsterdam. We got to do it one day. Listen, thank you so much for bringing your film with this very special program that really has an in focus of incredible Dutch filmmakers with the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. How special. But for those that haven't seen your film, tell us a brief synopsis.
So it's about a teenage girl who experiences the death of her mother, actually, but she doesn't want to deal with it. So she just goes on a holiday trip to Portugal, in this case, with her friends, and she just tries to party away her grief. But of course you can't, and it's actually about these complicated feelings, and we see her on her trip there, and I think I shouldn't say more.
Zara, I just want to say your style of creating this film was so immense. This character is going for a lot, and I can only empathize and imagine what one feels like, especially on such young shoulders when you're just discovering life, and you want your closest people to be around you to help navigate through. I thought the acting was incredible. I thought the cinematography was like insanely brilliant. The moments that you capture of her thoughts was just, I couldn't get my head around it. It was so incredible. Where did the inspiration come for you in creating this particular project?
I think the inspiration actually came from one of my best friends who experienced the death of actually both her parents in a short period of time, and I was with her during the time, but I was also an outsider to this feeling, actually, because it wasn't happening to me, and it just made such a great impact on me. And so I had a really long time that I was like, okay, I want to make something about grief and about this feeling and about the complicatedness, the chaos of emotions, actually. And of course I experienced some types of grief as well during those years. So when I started to write this film, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to write this and to make this. And I mean, it's really a new story, so it's not based on like real life events, but for me it was more about the feeling and trying to translate the feeling into a story and into a film. And so that's how it came to be. And it was my first time writing, actually, so it was I also experienced a lot of feelings during the writing, but more like writer's block feelings.
Oh well, it was interesting to me because the arc of the story was so strong.
Oh, great!
Wanted a feature. I was like, I was just into this moment. But I think there's also something to be said about just how we each have different forms of kind of escapism, when we're going through grief. Did you always kind of know when you were writing this that you wanted to kind of go in this direction? Because I mean, listen, I completely understand how everybody would go in a certain way when they're trying to navigate themselves through their feelings. Did you kind of always knew you're going to go in this direction with this sort of form of grief?
I knew that because for me that's the most natural way to deal with these kind of feelings. Like I tend to escape difficult feelings a lot of the time, and so I already knew, okay, I want to tell a story about grief. I want to tell a story about a young girl, like a teenage girl, and she's gonna try to run away from it. So I knew that, and then I just went thinking, brainstorming, and I had this, yeah, like vision of a
Yeah,
girl partying and just trying to dance her way her grief
it was
and
powerful to watch.
kiss and
Yeah,
yeah. So I, I think that was like the core of yeah, that was one of the first visions, like, or like images I had in my mind when I was writing it. And then I decided she had to go to yeah, to Portugal in this case, but abroad. That didn't really matter which country it was, because that's not the point. And I think for me that was because that's, yeah, like the ultimate escape, right? Because of
yeah,
course you can stay in your hometown and go to the club or anything, but I think for her, she just wanted to really cut off everything,
yeah.
not have like one moment to deal with it. And uh you know, a lot of times it seems like the best option to just go away and just, you
Yeah,
know, feel better, but it's like, no, maybe.
you know, you still got to face what's in front of you, you know, and but again, it was. I think that one of the things that we can all, you know, watch from your film is just the essence of empathy of those stages of grief and those stages of going through something. And I just thought it showed so well on camera. Now, I want to get into more of the kind of production design. Like, it was mesmerizing to watch your film, like from a production standpoint, the colors, the cinematography, the moments that you captured where she was just silent, you know, or with her friends, or her forms of escapism, or just the, you know, the silhouettes. It was so powerful to watch. Did you always tell us about who you work with, but also I thought it came across so brilliantly on camera.
Oh, thank you so much. That's really great to hear. Yeah, that was also a reason why I wanted her to escape to like uh, abroad, and like a more like a paradise, you know, somewhere you should feel great and it's colorful and you want to, you know, normally you're really happy in those places, but I really liked that that was actually in contrast, of course, with how the way she felt. So that's yeah. So I decided on Portugal because of that, because we found like a good connection there, and it's a lot of really nice, colorful places, and I felt like, okay, we can do it here. So we went there to scout locations, and I work with cinematographer called Douwe Henning. We work together a lot actually, so we're really on the same page all the time, and we just walked around there and, you know, looked and just tried to see like, okay, what locations really fit this feeling of like, oh, this is beautiful. This is
Yeah.
you should feel great here. So for example, one of the things I really wanted was so in the club there's this palm tree or like sunset background, that kind of stuff. Like I really like those things because I thought like, yeah, it on the surface it's like a paradise, but you know, actually it's not. It's like a gross corner in the club. Um, so yeah, we just went around and really tried to let the place itself inspire us.
Yeah.
And so yeah, actually a lot of the I mean, he's also a really great cinematographer, but a lot of it also really came from, yeah, the place itself, and just the vision of it has to be a paradise, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's hell.
No, I mean, it just again, it shone so well on camera, and you know, and I love the way it kind of really almost went into the sort of the escapism kind of realm that we go to sometimes in our minds, and it was so good. Zara, I honestly, I've got so much kind of like little tiny bits I want to talk about, because it's just it's really such a film that has so much depth. But I am curious for you, like, what's firstly, what is the reaction been for you, and what did you kind of want your audience to take from it?
So the reaction has been really great. I have to say it has been really great, but we released it in the like the early stages of the lockdown COVID crisis.
Okay.
So we did have like a small premiere, but it was really awkward. We all had to sit 3 meters apart. We couldn't clap or we couldn't hang out after, and it was just really weird actually. And uh,
Sure.
but after that, we did go to some great festivals, and well, of course, here in LA, but also, for example, Palm Springs and Asiana. That's like a really great short film festival in South Korea, and some really great youth festivals, which I really love because, especially with these kinds of films, I really hope that young people, maybe there's like one young person who
Yeah,
sees this and can see themselves there, and I don't know, feel not
absolutely.
maybe not even better, but seen.
Absolutely. I think for whatever form of grief people are going through, or they've lost someone or a change in
Yeah,
their life, like, you
yeah,
can't help but self-reflect. And I think it's a universal kind of experience for many people. And again, with your
exactly.
story was so strong. Zara, what is next for you? What are you next looking to be working on?
Well, what's next? Because yeah, like because this was my first short, I wrote myself, and although it was complicated, but it did really change something for me because first of all, me myself I was like, so maybe I can write, maybe I should do this more
Oh,
often.
yeah.
But luckily, also the people in the Netherlands, like you have a film fund and everything, they thought so as well. So I already made a 45-minute like a TV movie in the meantime, which was really great because that really got me, yeah, like the extra, yeah, just I don't know if you can say that in English, but like flying hours, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. And actually, at the moment, I'm working on my first feature, which got funded, and I'm going to shoot in the summer. And
Oh,
I co-wrote it with another writer, and yeah, that's really exciting because we're already starting the casting process, and like looking for locations a little bit. So it's actually, it's becoming something, which is always great when you have been in, it's just like letters on a paper for a really
yeah.
long time, and then suddenly it becomes something.
No,
So yeah, my first feature, and I've been working on the Dutch version of Euphoria, which is in the really early stages, but that's also really exciting for me.
Oh, very well done. Well, listen, Zara, we are so happy that, firstly, I'm glad you mentioned about the writing because you need to keep writing many more stories because you're an excellent
Thank you.
writer, and I'm still thinking about your film now because, it's has so much context. So well done, Zara. But we're so happy to have your film with us at New Filmmakers LA. Again, looking forward to having you with more films in person. But really, thank you so much for bringing your film to us.
Thank you so much for having me and for this conversation. It's really great.